too many of them.
Do I look worried?
All I want is your blood.
Come and get it.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Real Time for the Real Everyday Movie Fan. I'm Josh Williams.
And I'm Ryan Murphy.
And today we're giving you a real-time review of Underworld Blood Wars.
Blood Wars. And Underworld Blood Wars was directed by Anna Foerster. And it stars Kate Beckinsale, Theo James, Charles Dance, and other people who aren't at all famous.
A few other people.
Other people, yeah. So
he watched this. I didn't.
This is our first movie of 2017, by the way. Woo!
And I haven't watched it just yet.
Yeah.
I've been kind of fearing to watch it, but I'll still watch it.
I watched all 4 Underworld films in preparation to this. I had seen the first film many years ago, but I went on. I got all 4 and watched them on my phone. And then went to go see this one. So I saw all 5 Underworld films in the span of about 3 days. And,
all right, so let's jump right into it then. What is your score? And let's jump right into your positives, if any.
My score is about 5.5.
Okay, a little bit higher than I expected. Okay.
Well, okay.
What's
Here's
up?
the deal. Like, you have this real negative opinion of the Underworld movies. I actually liked them. I watched all 4, and I pretty much liked.
Are they like
every
a guilty
one.
pleasure of yours or something?
I mean, not really. They're, just kind of pleasurable. Okay. The first film.
I actually liked the first
film.
film.
First film was all right. That was probably my least favorite. It was
I
just
think
sort
that's
of
like
like
the best
I was
one.
like, okay, what's going on? Who am I rooting for here? Kind of kept going like, am I rooting for the werewolves? Am I rooting for the vampires? I don't know. Second film was just fun. It was just, it kind of had a little bit more fun with itself. There was a giant bat wing vampire and a big werewolf, and they fight, and it's lots of guns and stuff like that. It's just fun. You didn't like the second one, Underworld Evolution?
The second one was all right.
Yeah.
To me, the third one was pretty bad.
Rise of the Lycans?
Yeah, I didn't like that one.
Why didn't you like that?
I didn't
the
like
thing with
that.
Rise of the Lycans was it was a 90-minute version of a 30-second explanation of what happened in the past in the first Underworld, which they, but it
Yeah,
was,
I
it
know,
was not
it
was not a
And
badly done movie. I didn't
to me,
think.
the
Did you
fourth
not
one
like-
was just
Wait,
a-
you didn't.
the
Let's
third
go back
one-
to the third one. You
well,
didn't
the third
like
one-
Rise of the Lycans?
No, to me, the acting was pretty poorly. Sometimes even the story didn't make sense.
The acting was pretty poorly.
CG was,
not like his grammar.
you know.
I liked it.
The acting was done poorly. I can say however I want. The directing was not very great. The CG was for crap. The story sometimes had a lot of plot holes to it.
And I liked the fourth one.
And the fourth one, oh my god!
It was just fun. It was like there's a giant werewolf.
Okay, well,
she puts a grenade in the thing.
Okay, honestly, going into this movie, you're not supposed to expect much. You're supposed to expect something to be fun with, but at the same time, there still has to be some level of intellect involving as far as making the
That's
story.
why this is not Transformers, where there's just there's just no intellect and it's just complete garbage from beginning to end.
These movies try to be something like serious and try to be something very dramatic, but they fail. They fall on their face. But anyways, let's jump in this one.
This one is not as good as the past 4.
Okay.
This film is a mess. It's just a mess. Now the first 2, and this is really kind of just the 4th film. I kind of think of it not as Underworld 5. I think of Rise of the Lycans as being like Underworld prequel.
Yeah.
So this is kind of Underworld 4. So I'm going to talk about it in that sense.
Yeah.
The first 2 films kind of set up, I felt, going in with Michael being the hybrid of the vampire and Lycans, and that there was going to be just some more intrigue with, okay, now the head people of both races have been killed off, and there's going to be some blood wars now. I don't know. There's going to be some infighting, and maybe these 2 are going to bring peace to the 2 clans. And they seem to be going off in one direction. Then the 4th film was like kind of went off into left field. I still liked it, but it was like, even though it still seemed to be going in a particular direction, she had her daughter at the end of the 4th film, and oddly enough, Michael was kind of written out of the series, and he's still not in this one. And it's just, this film loses its way. It's not really about anything, and I feel like the 5th or 4th film should have been the 5th film that's they're still planning on coming out with. I feel like this film leaves off, it's teasing the next film that should have been just the next film without this. This film's plot is basically some vampires are going to attack some werewolves are going to attack a vampire stronghold, and we got to stop them. and so it's more vampires versus werewolves. And then they try and complicate the plot with like, okay, so there's some intrigue within the vampire ranks. There's a bad lady within the vampires, and she's betraying someone, and then someone else betrays someone else, and this person's really sleeping with this person, and they're going to betray this person. And all it really amounts to in the end is there's going to be this big army of werewolves attacking this one. That's really all it boils down to. They just waste a lot of screen time on other intrigues and stuff like that. And in the end, it just feels like, what the hell was the point of all that? Like, and then at the end, they're just sort of teasing, like, okay, here's the direction we're going to. I'm like, you could have this was a waste of time. Like, you could have just done that right off the bat instead of just wasting time on this, because this had nothing to do with where they're heading with the overall story, which I feel is some sort of conclusion to the overall war, ultimately a peace in the overall war that Selene's going to bring about because she's the central character. So it just wasted a lot of time, and it wasn't. I suppose I was supposed to say some positives first.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're kind of ripping this thing apart a little bit for a high score. But what things did you like?
5.5 is not a high score. That's a.
It's still a rotten score. That's still a rotten score.
That's an F on a paper. 55 out of 100. I mean, the film has action. If you just watch the trailer, you can watch the trailer and be like, yeah, that movie looks like it has a lot of action movie, and it does have a lot of action. And there's some fun, campy sort of. There's like campy sort of violence as this sort of film, people getting certain body parts ripped out and stuff like that, and I mean, it's entertaining in that regard. You can watch the film. It's like Transformers for me, like Revenge of the Fallen, or for you, it's Age of Extinction, is really just hard to watch. Like, it's hard to sit there and leave your butt in that place. This film is not that way. You can watch it and be entertained enough that you're not like itching for the door.
Funny enough, that's now Assassin's Creed for me.
Assassin's Creed.
That movie's hard to watch. It's hard to sit there. It's really hard. So let me ask then, what about Kate Beckinsale? Does she still do her job as being the lead actress? I mean,
there's not much for her to do. I mean, she's just sort of like, I'm Selene. I'm going to kill things now.
I felt it weird that she was just recently in a movie called Love and Friendship, which was a old Victorian age film. It's actually, she was really great in, and she comes back in this franchise, which has been critically flopped.
She always does whatever else she's doing in her career. Her husband's the producer of the films, and
that's probably why.
They met on the first film. I mean,
she
directed the first film.
Yeah. So besides some of those things you brought before, you have any overall other thoughts on this movie?
It's got some entertaining stuff into it. It's got some story points, I'll say, like with the Theo James character and stuff that they're trying to tell. It's got some interesting stuff when they go out into the Arctic, and there's like another coven of vampires that live out in the Arctic, and there's just some nice sort of scenery. It's still got that moody, emo, hot topic scenery to it. But overall, I can't really recommend it very well. I mean, if you want to, keep watching the series, you watch it when it's on Netflix, obviously, in preparation for number 6 or 5 or however the hell you want to count it. But other than that, just not really a great movie, certainly not. And even as far as the series is concerned, I feel like even if you liked the fourth film, which I did, and you did not, it's just at least the fourth film at least went somewhere. It didn't go in the direction you may have expected it to go in, but it went somewhere. This film doesn't go anywhere. So
interesting. All right, folks, that'll do this for today. Thank you very much for watching. What did you think of Underworld Blood Wars? Leave your comments section below and tell us whether you liked it or not, and what was your score out of 10. And if you have not seen it, are you now intrigued or not intrigued to see this? I, for one, am not, but I'm still going to see it so I can have it in my end-of-year list. Oh, God. Also, if you like what you watched, then please click like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can see more of our various content in the future. I'm Josh Williams.
And I'm Ryan Murphy.
And thank you for keeping it real.
With ReelTime.